my ray gun does more damage. Soon Bertram, your uppers shall come.
Hey, son, give me some help over here. The liposuction machines are leaking fat all over the place, and I'm trapped in it. I need 3 machine parts to fix it. Get them for me, and I'll be able to open the door for you.
Hey everyone, welcome back with Being on Mac, where today we're going to continue our playthrough of Family Guy the Videogame, obviously, as you can see. And we're doing another section with I almost said Scooby, with Stewie in the hospital here. And as you heard, you know, we just got to help out, I forget what his name is. I think it's like Cleveland's cousin, Roderick. I forget what his name was, but, you know, we're just helping him out. And then he'll be able to unlock a door for us, I guess, later on. And man, what the heck is going on here? Like, I can't jump out of it, but I want to get those freaking. Man, this is so hard to control. What the heck is going on here? Yeah, this is gonna be a pain in the ass. I can already tell. Question of the day, though, folks: who is your favorite Family Guy character and why? You know, I think I'd have to say for the early seasons, it was definitely Brian. I think he just had a much more relatable character at that time. He was a much more likable character at that time. And I think he was the most developed, it felt like, of all the characters, too. So, you know, obviously, I think a lot of people remember him as the voice of reason. Let's see, is it this one? Maybe that's the one I got on lock. I think a lot of people think of him as the voice of reason. But for me, there was that, but like I always just thought of him as, you know, a very charming character, you know, the sidekick to Peter. And I don't know, like I said, I think he had more character, you know, like after a while, I think it was, you know, there was more about like story expanding for him, you know, there was him going to therapy, there was, you know, he had his drinking problem, so he had faults that were relatable as well. And, you know, weren't massive, you know, he wasn't a massive douchebag they would turn into. He wasn't political in any way. So, I mean, I just think also, you know, the Brian and Stewie Road to Rhode Island, you know, episode was awesome. And that kind of jump-started that whole series of episodes that they had. And the whole relationship with Brian and Stewie. And I don't know, eventually, you know, he became Stewie's best friend instead of Brian's. Even though, you know, they would still hang out. And holy crap, I'm going all the way to the back to the beginning here. Like, this is really terrible controls here. I mean, maybe it's a good chance I just suck, but can I make it over to, yeah, god damn it. Alright, jeez, I cannot get past this freaking part here, but like there's gotta be a platform I can go to, right? I don't even know. Yeah, I just don't know if I can get past this part. Like, what the hell is going on? Is this the way I'm supposed to be going? I can't really tell, honestly. Oh! Alright, we got past it. Jeez Louise, man, that was a pain in the ass. You know, I'm trying to impress people here with my mad gaming skills. Yo. Alright, so I'm not looking forward to the rooms that are gonna, you know, ahead. Let's see here. What the hell are those, like, bombs? Anyway, I would have to say my favorite character at this point. Like, overall, it's Brian from the first few seasons. And, I mean, there's just so many reasons to hate him now. You know, whether, you know, he's just an asshole, a douchebag, the fact that he's just a terrible father to his kid and doesn't... You know, they just made him into the most intentionally selfish character you know, as possible. They purposely made him as unlikable as possible. And even then, he used to be intelligent and stuff like that, and, you know, the whole dynamic between him and Stewie were, you know, wisecracks and stuff like that. And then eventually just kind of became like an idiot that, you know, Stewie could say, like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, making fun of him and stuff like that for how stupid he was when he tried to act smart. And I don't know, I think they kind of butchered a lot of the characters, and I understand some, you know, like people weren't, obviously, I don't think most people cared too much for Meg. I liked her in the early seasons. I don't think people cared too much for Chris. I liked the stuff they were doing with him in the early seasons too. I liked all the early season characters, but you know, I can understand why people didn't like them, because there wasn't too much to them when you really look back on them. But that said, I think just Brian was kind of like the worst of them to kind of get, you know, changed and stuff. And I think it's the difference of, you know, having a clever, charming character and, you know, someone that's just, you know, like I said, they made everybody as just mean-spirited and terrible as possible. And it was funny for a while, but then it just kind of got to the point where, you know, the jokes stopped being as funny, and now you're just left with husks of characters, and their whole thing is you can't root for them at any point because all the magic is kind of gone from them. At least that's my personal opinion on, you know, Modern Family Guy and stuff like that. And, you know, I think I mentioned it in the first episode that when Brian died and came back for the ratings and stuff like that, that was such like I don't know, like just a lame thing they did. Alright, we're almost dead, so we can't mess around over here. So I don't know, I'm kind of just going to say screw it to the power pieces, because this is kind of getting annoying. And there's no healing items. Woohoo. Alright, so this room I actually tried a few times and I just couldn't beat it. That's why I'm at full health. So the whole thing is you have to do this entire room perfectly. Like, I don't know why they set it up to where you can jump on these objects, because you can't, you know, you can't waste your time on that. You have to swim to it. As you can see, I was barely just got it, so we're able to complete that section, but we still have more to the hospital to go.
Thanks a lot, little guy. The door should
Which,
be
you know,
open
is
now.
nice that Stewie, obviously he had it in for him, but, you know, something for him in it, but it's nice that Stewie was able to help that guy. But it's definitely a Stewie move to take him out for good. Well, what the hell? Oh my god, I don't know if that they showed up because I killed him or if they were supposed to. That's crazy. I don't know, I think Stewie's probably one of my favorite characters. I think most people's favorite at this point is just Stewie.
Hey, Brad, how long before you think you end up in here?
Oh, a long time, unless I run into a baby with a ray gun. But what are the odds of that?
Yeah, I think most people's favorite at this point is just Stewie at this point. Because,
I wish I'd studied Shakespeare
what the hell?
so I'd have something to quote before
Very
dying.
dramatic death there. Okay, what the hell's going on with this system? But yeah, Stewie, I mean, he's just like... I think he's the only character that doesn't have like a negative flaw really associated with him anymore, which is crazy because like obviously his whole thing used to be that he just was some evil mastermind, you know, that killed multiple people and still does that, but it feels like it's less about him being evil and just, you know, him doing the right thing a lot of the times.
There's plenty of room.
Which, I mean, it is pretty cool, you know, that they kind of kept certain parts of him. Like, he's not evil, but he's still, you know, a genius and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so god damn it, I gotta do that all over again. I gotta say, I do like the Season 4 references. Pretty awesome. So how does this work? What the hell?
You will see me again, Stewie Griffin. Because I got a few to pick up in the ICU.
Alright, yeah, I don't know, I swear to God, some of these puzzles and rooms are designed just to be as big of a pain in the ass as possible. Alright, I don't know, I think I gotta like enter these places? Yeah, I guess not. Although that reference with Meg and like the dude is one of my favorite segments in Family Guy, where her friends tell her, you know, you're the only one who had a boyfriend, and it was just that dead guy, and you know, led to one of my favorite characters that were one-off. It was Craig Hoffman. Yeah, it was just a really funny segment. I don't play by anybody's rules but my own, not even my own. But that was just really funny, and then he just said he didn't date dudes when Meg asked him out. So that was pretty good. I think also he just showed up later when she was like, she did something to become popular or something like that, so he said, hey Meg, you want to go out? It's like, sure, alright, I'll pick you up at some time later. And then he shows up 2 seconds later. He's like, alright, I'm ready to pick you up.
Dr. Miller, Dr. Rubin.
Family Guy though, man, I mean, it's... Say what you want about it, you know, especially the modern seasons. But I think it's always been funny, even now. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of it, in its current incarnation, but like even just seeing the clips of the actual funny things on YouTube, it's actually deceptive. Like, it looks so much better than what it is, and then you watch the episode and you realize the story sucks so much. But the humor, I think, is so funny, and I think it's even funnier now because they kind of got rid of a lot of the just straight up edgy stuff. Like even old like stuff, you know, like I think I mentioned like Quagmire's just very tame compared to what he was. He's just kind of like a disgruntled middle-aged man at this point who's sick of everybody's shit. Okay, what's going on? Yeah, so now we got freaking
Come on, you apes. Dress those lines.
Jeez, what is this? Is this Galga, I think? Yeah, it's like a form of that, so that's pretty cool. Nice reference. But maybe not. I can't really remember. I'm not really too up to date on my retro games from, you know, for the console era. Reminds me of Chef's Love Shack. There's like a game that's just like this, except with bees. Man, I definitely love that game too. It's actually, I don't know, I love playing as a multiplayer game, me and my buddies. Although obviously it's not something most people enjoy, but for me, like, I would love to have like a modern day remake of that game. I don't think it's ever gonna happen because the South Park, you know, for South Park people like Matt Stone and Trey Parker, you know, they want their games to be pretty cool at this point and stuff, and they want them to be big adventures, kind of like Sick of Truth and Fractured But Whole, and I get that, you know, honestly, I think those are better games, but it'd be really awesome if we got like a legit South Park trivia game. Are you kidding me? Okay, that was just a troll moment there. But, you know, replace all the random trivia with South Park trivia, and then just give us, you know, the mini games were alright, but give us something a little bit more, you know what I mean?
Last-minute additions. Damn, I was gonna ask her out later. I don't remember her being on the list. Oh well, I don't want any trouble with the union. How ironic. Angel of Mercy meets Angel of Death. What the hell's wrong with this thing? Come on, die already! I hate these last-minute
Oh man, this show is so crazy, man. But after this cutaway, it's gonna be the end of the episode here. I failed anyway, but thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please remember to like and subscribe. Check out next week's episode on License Thursday, but above all else, please remember to have a nice day.